So don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want. I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, your man? With my name in your mouth, I do the Maybach on Monday, Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And in front of a raucous crowd, this one is underway. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation. Take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Get up!
Now the pitch to Freeman, and he stopped immediately there. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hey, Tuesday.
They snap it at 1. Now Ryan. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. The Le'Veon Bell saga, that continues to drag on, but James Conner, he's showing he can handle the load. 19 carries, 111 yards last week against Cincy.
And when I saw him in preseason, I knew he was back to being the James Conner we saw at his best in college at Pitt before he went through his illness with leukemia and beat that. So you know the determination. You know the athletic ability. Over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Could have had a 3rd touchdown, but the Steelers chose not to appeal, or what would you say, review a call where it looked like he may have broken the plane. He's doing it running. He's doing it catching. And the team is rallying around him in a big way. Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Let's go. Quarter. Eight. Dig. Hey. Quarter.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down.
Hey. Gotta go. Take both of them.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Take 2 of them. Let's go.
They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football.
Let's go. Double.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Take 2 of them. Quarter.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Well, switching gears for a second, let's talk about all the offense that's been going on around the league.
Yes, please. Let's do it.
We've had 3 games where each team has scored 40 points. That didn't happen all of last year. In the most recent example, Week 6, that incredible 43-40 Pats win over the Chiefs.
A lot of people talk about when you make rules changes or you emphasize certain things that you have unintended consequences. Let's not kid ourselves. This was the intended consequence. Open up offenses, more scoring. We're seeing that, and we're seeing it, and fans are loving it. Defensive coordinators are hating it, but fans are loving it. And how about Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, that New England-Kansas City game? Big throw for big throw, touchdown for touchdown, and Brady guides him to a field goal to win it in the end.
Yeah, the elder statesman, because Patrick Mahomes was just 5 years old when Tom Brady threw his first touchdown pass in the NFL. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 3rd down, Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
21. Here we go. Hey, wait. 11.
They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. He finds Coleman. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Freeman with a fast feed, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. They toss to Freeman. Oh, good footwork on the spin. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 30 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be taken short. And He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Pittsburgh taking back over here in a second on offense. And the Steelers back on the beam after their second straight win, third in the last 4 games, defeating division rival Cincy this past weekend, Charles, 28-21.
Yeah, and that's the 7th straight win over Cincinnati, including the postseason. And we all remember that last postseason meeting where it looked like Cincinnati had them beat, and it got away from them. Some teams just have other teams' numbers, and right now that's what Pittsburgh has going against Cincinnati. But the open week, next week, could not have come at a better time for Pittsburgh. They're hot, but they'll get a chance to get some rest. And then their next 2 games in the division, Cleveland, who's played better this year despite their loss this past week against the L.A. Chargers, and then Baltimore, who's shutting everyone down on defense, especially in the second half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Roethlisberger now 5 for 5 on the drive. He's responded after the interception. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. His throw caught at about the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken very short. Possession back over the Atlanta Falcons. And this is a team that broke a 3-game losing streak, and boy, did they need that win last week against Tampa Bay. But the injuries are still a problem. In fact, they had 3 new injuries surface in that victory.
Remember the injuries we were talking about were on the defensive side of the ball. Linebacker Deion Jones, the 2 safeties, right? You talk about Keanu Neal, and, of course, Ricardo Allen, both of them gone for the year, it appears. This time it's on the offensive side. Hot rookie wide receiver Calvin Ridley out with an ankle injury, didn't return in that ball game. Mohamed Sanu had a 35-yard touchdown pass that he hauled in, but missed the second half with a hip problem. And the kicker, Matt Bryant, knocks down a 57-yard field goal with a little over a minute to play in the 4th quarter. But pulls a hamstring on his kicking leg. Amazing the amount of injuries the Falcons have had to endure.
So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. This will be taken short. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter three.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Now Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he goes out right around the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he finds McDonald. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And this is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, let's take a step back and look league-wide here, Charles. What contender do you think is in the most trouble through 6 weeks? I would not have thought Jacksonville a couple of weeks ago, but, boy, very flat performances against KC and Dallas.
Yeah, and we expect them to be a dominant team on the defensive side of the ball week in and week out, and Dallas just shredded them in their game on Sunday. But I don't think Jacksonville's in as much trouble as maybe Denver is. Denver's 2-4, 4 straight losses, and Kansas City setting a heck of a pace in the AFC West. Vance Joseph, the second-year coach in Denver, many thought he wouldn't return after last year. Got a second opportunity. This isn't helping him. And last but not least, if we're talking about this group of people, how about the Atlanta Falcons? They're also 2-4, but they got a much-needed win against Tampa Bay on Sunday. If we knew they could get their defensive players back, I'd like them a lot more. They've got a tough road ahead of them, but Matt Ryan, he can help equalize things out.
This one complete to Devontae Freeman. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
A toss play left. There goes Devontae Freeman. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Let's go. Check, check, wait.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Back now here on EA Sports.
Let's go. 21. Right. Let's go.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This is Coleman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman taking it in from the 20. And the Falcons are in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described.
Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. Now a toss. This is Connor. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And a movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here. Brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald from 6 yards away. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken short. Atlanta now coming out on the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Here's Coleman, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Coleman. And he's got room. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
And that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced a 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. Well, I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And able to work his way down to the 16. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And the Steelers signal for another timeout, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Coleman now. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
50.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Open man is Switzer, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Go. Double. Snickers, 66.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
Oh, everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Brian Poole. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard.